Good day, everyone. I'm here to present my expanded report on engine room operation planning. This topic is very important for us as future marine engineers because the success and safety of ship operations large and depend on the how well we plan engine room activities. Nice introduction. The engine room is the heart of the ship. All machinery, power generation, and propulsion system depend on the proper planning and execution of tasks. Without effective planning, operations can lead to accident, mechanical failures, pollution, or even loss of life. Next, planning in the engine room ensures that so the purpose of planning is to make sure that every task in the engine room is done in a systematic way. It helps us prepare the manpower tools, spare parts, and time needed for the job. It also ensures that all operations follow safety standards and international regulations. In short, plannings allow us to minimize risk, save time, and make our work more efficient and effective. So next, significance of effective planning. So when the planning is done effectively, the benefits are clear. So first it ensures that safety of the crew and the vessels, maybe preventing accident. And second, it helps the ship comply with international maritime regulations such as STCW, MARPOL, and SOLAS. Third, it ensured efficient use of resources like fuel, manpower, and spare parts. Fourth, it prevent pollution and protect the marine environment. And finally, it allows for smooth operations by avoiding unexpected breakdowns and delays. So, 5 next principles of effective planning. So first, flexibility. Adjust the plan and inspect the breakdown or whether delays occur. Next, detailed pathway. Each step of the maintenance or operation should be documented. Third, emphasis on safety. And safety barriers, PPE, and emergency procedures must be included. Next, time bound. Jobs jobs should be completed within a scheduled time to avoid the delays. Next, rational process. Prioritize based on the importance and urgency. Fix a leaking fuel line before painting. So next, control and prioritizations. Senior engineers should monitor, guide, and prioritize tasks. So, um, to make a plan successful, there are principles that must be followed. A good plan must be flexible because unexpected problems can always happen. It must also provide a detailed pathway that giving clear step-by-step instructions. So safety should always come first with the proper use of the PPA and risk assessments. The plan should also be time bound, meaning jobs must be completed within the given schedule. It should be rational, prioritizing the most urgent and important task. And lastly, the most be controlled and supervised by senior engineers to make sure that everything is in order. Next, engine room operations that require planning. So, first, maintenance, overhauling the engines, pumps, compressors, purifiers. Next, bunkering, fuel oil loading, transfer and storage with strict safety and checks. Next, pollution control, the builds water handling, sludge treatment, waste, waste oil management. Next, safety inspections, fire detection systems, alarms, lifeboat, engines, and emergency generators. So, some operations in the engine room cannot be carried out without proper planning. These include the maintenance of the engines, pumps, purifiers, and compressors. Fuel bunkering also required planning to ensure safety, transfer, and prevent oil spills. Pollution control activities such as bales, water, and sludge handling must also be well planned. Safety inspection of alarms and emergency equipment, as well as emergency drills for fire, blackout, or oil spills, and also the required careful preparations. Lastly, dry dock the preparations such as surveys and spare parts arrangement must be thoroughly planned to ensure the smooth operations. Next, the plan implementations. Once the plan is prepared, proper implementation is crucial. So, so once a plan is prepared, it must be properly implemented. So this starts with the toolbox meetings where the crew is verified on their task and the safety measures. A risk assessment is carried out to identify the hazards and proper control measures. Checklists and safety forms are used to make sure that nothing is forgotten. And during the job, communication and teamwork are very important to ensure the coordinations. Uh, uh, and debriefing is conducted after the work is completed to reviews and results, challenge, and lesson learned for a future improvement. So next, uh, practical example of planning. So first, preparations, check the spare parts availability, assign duties, and review the manual. Step 2, toolbox meeting, brief the crew on a task and safety measures. Step 3, execution. Carry out maintenance following a checklist and safety protocols. Step 4, monitoring. Supervisors ensure tasks are performed correctly. Next, next, uh, debriefing. Review the work, note any difficulties, and recommended improvement. So, this example shows how the planning is applied in real life and engine room operations. So, very important. Operation planning is very important. So, operation planning is applied in many area of marine and industrial work. For example, uh, in the engine room, engineers prepare a detailed plan before starting the main engine, so which includes the checking lubrication, cooling water, and fuel system. During the boiler operation, the crew must plan gradual warming to avoid the thermal shock, assign duties for monitoring, and prepare the emergency shutdown procedures on deck. Marine operations require planning of rope handling, bridge operation, and crew positioning to prevent accident. In cargo handling, a plan is made for a safe sequence of loading and unloading, the use of the cranes, and coordination between the deck and engine departments. Even voyage planning is a form of operations planning where the route, weather, the conditions, and fuel requirements are carefully studied before the departure. So in maintenance work, the planning ensures that jobs are scheduled or ordered, spare parts are ready, and manpower to assign properly. This example shows that operation planning is not limited to one task, but is necessary in every part of ship operation to ensure the safety, efficient, and success.